Welcome back to That's What She Said.
Welcome back. So speaking of
The ruler.
dicks,
Yeah.
so Kari came up with all these topics today. So if it's a little nasty, it's because of Kari. Kari was talking about girth. We were talking about like the width and girth. We know girth, right? And because I'm always curious about straight women, and I know you're always curious about lesbian women, on how we maneuver through that girth discussion. And for me, let's start with you.
Well, so, because it's like the thing came as like, is there such thing as too much penis, right? Yeah. And it's like, absolutely, yes. Yeah. Because even though our vaginas, the more like turned on we are, they open up, they relax, like they can get pretty big. There is such a thing as too much. And I remember being with this one guy and his dick was like at least the girth of this, if not more. And just probably as long as this. I mean, he could easily be doing porn. But I just remember looking at it and
about a 2.5 inch girth.
You know what's funny? I've never measured the girth.
It's crazy.
I would put like remotes up to Keon's dick and be like, oh, it's the Comcast remote, you know? And be like, it's about that length. But I've never actually measured the girth.
So girth first of all, some women like a good fill out, right? Some women like length. And I think it's all about body types and nerve endings and all those things that play a factor, right? Because some women, if you're not filling it all up, you know, girth wise,
right,
they're not satisfied. And some women are like, well, I want it to hit my heart.
And the vagina is only so long.
It's only so long, but some people like the way it feels when it hits certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, I don't like length or girth. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a lesbian. I don't have a long cervix. Mm-hmm. I have a short cervix. It's not even supposed to hit your cervix, right?
I think there's like the opening there, but then the cervix. Oh no, that is the cervix though, because my doctor definitely opened up and showed me like that's your cervix. I think.
See, this is what we don't. Sorry,
and I had never seen it before, but I was like, oh, that's wild.
I don't like it. I like your nails.
Oh,
I don't like it too far because it hurts. It just it hurts on something I can't describe, like the pain I feel on something I don't know what it is. I don't like it.
Okay, so having given birth and having had contractions, I now know that the feeling I feel when it goes too deep is I'm having a contraction. So the craziest thing happened to me one time, and Keon and I joked that don't put me in the fetal again, right? Because I was in so much pain, I crawled into the fetal position. He hit this point, and now that I've had contractions, I know that's exactly what was happening. My stomach started having contractions, and I was in the fetal position, like crying. And so I don't know what it is, but if he hits a certain point, it's like, I don't know if something's off, but it sets it into like my whole stomach goes into contraction. So that might be what you're feeling. You just don't know because you haven't had labor contractions, but that's what it felt like. It was awful.
It sounds awful. And I have, had it in a way that I cramped so bad that I'm like, ugh, I hate this. Like, I don't know how straight women deal with this. It's something wrong with me. Because I remember my therapist asked me, like, just out of curiosity, was I born a lesbian? Did somebody do me wrong? Was I, like, molested, or does sex hurt? Like, that was one of the questions. Like, is sex painful for you?
You don't see that therapist anymore, do you?
No.
Okay.
Because my thing was, I shouldn't pique your curiosity, right?
Well, and also those questions are not based on any real.
And the fact that she started with for her own curiosity, I'm like, oh, you want some?
Yeah, that's inappropriate.
You want that? No.
Right.
I'm getting a discount.
Because therapy is expensive.
Right. But it has almost always been painful for me. And then I started finding reasons why it was painful. So these are the things I think we spoke about before, like super allergic to rubber.
Oh, yeah.
Like rubber condoms and me I cannot. Not even for 5 seconds. And it used to be, it would be afterwards or like during and then after burning. Now it's like as soon as it hits it. And I could put on rubber gloves, but for some reason. So, lamb skin smells like meat.
I've never tried lambskin, but lamb to me has an aftertaste, so I can see that.
Yeah, it smells like raw meat, not stank raw meat, but it smells like raw lamb.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Gross.
Yeah,
you don't want that in your vagina, right? And that's another thing. Condom smells stay behind.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
And it's very unsexy. I hate the smell.
And it's not just like we can just get in there and like wash inside the vagina all the time. Like it's very sensitive.
Right. Yeah. So for me, I don't like girth. Like this. So this is 8 inches long. This is an 8-inch ruler. 8 inches. I like a 6-inch dildo. And I think that's the smallest size. But it used to be, but I think they come in like 4s now. But 6 is fine for me. So that's like,
that's great. And what's the girth? Do you know?
The girth is small, so it's probably like a 3-finger situation. Maybe a little bigger than a 3-finger situation.
Yeah, I mean that's not small though.
No.
Well, I'm thinking if the fingers are in a circle,
like if they were
small.
But you know, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Like just enough pleasure to where it's not like bang bang bang. I just don't like that. I don't like my vagina sore afterwards. I know some girls like you to bang it out and be sore. No, I want to go about my day and be happy. And just like have a little pulsating going on throughout the day. It's my kind of day.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just like this guy. It just completely turned me off because I was like, I do not want that inside me. I don't even know what that is. I mean, kudos to him because that's great. He should go do porn, but there is such a thing as like that is just too damn big. But as a lesbian, okay, having dildos is one thing, right? But like without dildos, is there something that is just like it's too much or?
What do you mean?
Like how you can have too much dick. Like, is there an alternative for lesbians? Like, when it comes to the vagina, can the lips be too big or like? I don't know. Now
that's the question.
Now I'm searching. I'm like trying to think. Like,
no, there's not. Like,
because it's really about the clit, right?
Yeah, and it's about everything else. Because you know the good thing about women, right? And I could be biased as a lesbian saying this, right? But I feel like this is scientifically proven, like this is factual. Most women don't climax during sex. Straight women. Right. So that's not a situation in lesbian sex. We gonna make sure that we both are good. And at least one is definitely, but most usually is both. But I feel like there's so much else to sex aside from just like a dildo. You have cunnilingus, you know, you have 69.
Wait, cunnilingus? I thought cunnilingus meant sex.
No, cunnilingus is.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's your tongue moving right now.
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. That was weird. Sorry. But yeah, so it's like so much to do. It's so sensual and sexual. It can be. So it's like, that's why I always say, like, it's not quick. Like, sometimes I do wish we could have, like, 5-minute sex. Because I'm like, come on, we got to put on a whole production.
Right. I didn't even think about that. Like, quickies is probably not really, like, a thing.
And Shantae will not let me get a head start. I'm like, can I just, like, use it a little bit? Yeah. And then that way we're just ready to go. Yeah. And then she's like, no.
Oh, my God. So it's a whole production.
A whole production.
So speaking of that, like, so we both, you know, date people who are stand-up comedians in the entertainment industry. You know, they work late at night. They might come home late at night. How do you say to your partner if you're asleep, right? Like, wake me up, I want to have sex. Or cunnilingus.
Or cunnilingus.
I like obsessed with that word now. Because I saw this thing on Instagram and it was a candle that was labeled, if this candle is lit, give me that dick.
That's right.
I love that. I just think that's awesome. I don't want to fall asleep with a candle lit.
So,
but it's happened.
I used to, my way used to be going to bed naked.
Yes.
Because most of the time, I'm like, ideally, I would love to do it all the time. But a lot of times, like, you have kids. I have 2 dogs. I have to go to sleep with a clean house. So I have to clean up and do all this shit before I get into bed. I'm not doing that with my titties out. And just like...
And some people don't want to be woken up. Like, once I'm asleep, that's it.
Again, because we're lesbians, we're probably going to be giving each other some cunnilingus. I have to get up and brush my teeth. You know what I mean?
I do like sucking dick after I've Listerine. It feels really good when it's like a fresh mouth. So yeah, I agree with that.
So that's another thing. It's just like, and gotta wash my hands. Like, it's just so much that I gotta prepare for.
And you're a very like hygienically tuned person. So
and Shantae's thing be like, well, we don't have to just do it at night. And I'm like, you say that, right? But if I am working throughout the day and you're working throughout the day, on my lunch break, I want to eat lunch.
Yeah. And not the munch.
Right. I want to eat lunch and have my break and then but she's like, well, why we... I'm not there in my life. I'm not at that. Maybe because, she's a couple of years older. Maybe she's at her sexual peak. Because
we talked last time about erotic time zones, right? So like that could be hers.
And I told her afterward, I was like, so babe, remember, I'm like 11 o'clock a.m. girl, right? If I'm free, or 8 o'clock at night. Anytime after 8 o'clock at night, I'm too tired. If it's 8:05, I'm too tired. So yeah, it'd be like that. So don't wake me up.
Yeah, see, I got like that too, where I was kind of at a point where like, don't wake me up. But then I was kind of at a thing where it's like during the day is too much going on. Like, I'm at work, he might be home. Now that the kids are both in school, but it's like we got to hit the gym. There's so many things to do before they get out of school. It definitely makes it difficult. You can try to do a quickie, but you don't want to always do that. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, because for me, I don't feel this way. Do you feel like because it's not happening maybe as often as you think you should? Is it because you think you should be doing it more? Because for us, we're happy. We're not like, oh my God, we're lacking. We know when we want to get it in, we get it in. Mm-hmm. But it's not at the top of our list. And we both always check in with each other like, are you good? Because I know we haven't been like I'm good. Like, we're still very much attracted to each other. We still have our moments where we're like, ooh, so turned on. But we just don't always have the time for sex. Like, it's just...
No, I agree. I don't feel the pressure so much. Keon definitely has a higher sex drive than I do. But I feel like when I am horny, it's inconvenient.
Yeah.
And
same.
Like I told you before, when we're at family functions, like, why am I so horny? I'm seeing all the like love and everything, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to have sex, and it's like awkward, weird, you know what I mean? But it's funny that you say too, going to bed naked. We call that like the uniform. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'll be in my uniform, or like he'll know like if I'm naked.
Cute.
Yeah, like then I'm down.
Yeah, but I haven't done that in a while, but that's usually my thing. And it could be like no words are needed. She gets to the bed like, oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah, just in case you wanted to know,
right?
Yeah. So.
But waking me up can be a gamble because sometimes I'm really out of it, and like I feel like you don't know what you're gonna get. Like I talk in my sleep. I get up random and say weird things. You know what I mean? It's like, so. He's kind of weary of that too. It's like, okay, what's gonna happen if I do wake her up?
Well, let's stick with the uniform. I think that works.
The uniform works.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Sometimes I forget though, and I'm so cold because he keeps the house cold.
I make the room hot if I have to do that, because that's another thing. Like, she'll tell me like, you haven't been naked in the bed in a long time, because I know that's my cue, and I'm like, I know, but it's been cold. So I just now we have a heater in the room, and I turn the heat up, and then I just get in the bed, but I can't get out the bed.
Yeah, no. I gotta have socks on.
Me too.
I think it's a lack of iron too in women. Well, you guys are both women, but I think for me personally, it's a lack of iron. I'm cold hands, cold feet. I gotta have my socks on. But that's a good idea because I can't turn up the actual heater. He'll turn it down. But to just have a little heater in my room.
Yep. Or a heated blanket.
I'm worried about those. I don't know why. What happens when I become a parent? I'm worried about everything. I'm worried about setting the house on fire.
No, that's.
So I do have a heated blanket. You plug it in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what if I forget it? It blows up. Stupid thing.
Well, it'll catch a small fire if anything. I think
it'll just burn my feet.
You got enough time to throw it out the window.
My cold ass would be like, ooh, that feels good.
I have, oh my God, real quick. I should have bought it in here. Did I show you last time my heating pad that I have that straps on?
I don't think so. I know you said you had a heating pad, but not a strap-on heating
My
pad.
client, because, I get the cramps, and she's like, Shay, I just feel so bad for you, and I get them too. She ordered this, heating pad that's this big from Amazon, and it's chargeable. And you just put it on.
Oh my God,
you can
I
put
would
it
wear
under
that
your
all
clothes
day.
all day. We went to the Comedy Award show a couple of days ago, and everybody was so cold. I was like, I'm good. I had a whole heater on my back.
Stomach's on fire. I'm great.
Great girl.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make your clothes more
bulky.
Bulky. Yeah.
Well, not in the wintertime because you got on
'cause
sweaters
you
and coats. Yeah, so it's perfect.
I need
I
that.
got
in
you.
my life.
I'm getting you that, and what was something else I needed to get you? We were talking earlier in the kitchen.
Oh my God, I don't remember.
It'll come.
So
yeah, but also let us know what's your size.
yes.
So are
what
you
do
a good
prefer?
8? You're a good 8 girl.
7, 8, but I really need girth. I really don't like a skinny penis. And I don't like a short penis because when you're on top, it falls out. And for me, skinny penis is just when I'm turned on and aroused, my vagina blossoms even more like a flower. It opens up.
Pull out, fall out penis.
Oh
is
my
so
God,
uncomfortable.
the fallout
Stupid.
penis. That's hilarious.
It's the most uncomfortable,
Yeah.
annoying, weird shit ever. It's like, whoa.
Yes, because it feels extra slippery and googly. It's just what is happening here? And so I used to tell Keanu, I was like, it's just too long. I don't need all of that. And then I was like, oh no, but I had to remember about the fallout penis. And I was like, no, that's a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
More is better. I do really get upset though. And women do this all the time. And maybe it's just me, but I'm like, they do the oh, it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean, and it drives me insane.
Well, they be saying it like this.
Because I'm just if you're too small, you can't feel it. So it doesn't matter what motion you're doing.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm just those people are having sex with men who have small dicks, point blank. Because I'm just
trying to make them feel good.
Yeah. What motion can I feel if it's so small? BS women. I'm calling BS on that shit.
But maybe they just standing by their man because what do you do
That's definitely what they're doing.
when you get in that situation and you have a really good man and you just can't? Because I've been in situations where dating women as lesbians and they can't eat it.
Oh, yeah.
And you you got a vagina.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, I'll tell you what to do so we can get this together. Let's
No,
figure this
and
out
that's
together.
a great point because somebody had said too that it's okay, if you have a small dick, then you better be really good at giving head. And same thing I think would apply to women. You have a vagina, you should be really good at giving head. And there was a video that was surfacing around where she was when it comes to cooking, people will say oh, well, nobody taught me how to cook, so I don't know how to cook. And she was like, well, nobody taught you how to suck dick.
Saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very
and
true.
she was so right. You can literally learn anything. When I was in college, I still had not sucked a dick.
Yeah.
And so I was very nervous about how do I do it? And my friends and I were Googling how to suck a good dick. And I learned about not violin, what is it? The thing of going like this and
you remember the grapefruit lady?
No.
What?
No, I don't. What is the
I'll
grapefruit
show you.
lady?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Tell us if y'all know about the grapefruit lady, because I know about the grapefruit lady. And I'm a lesbian.
But it's take a class, do the research. With anything that you do, come with some knowledge.
And I also know that everybody likes different things. I guess for a man, the main thing is no teeth right?
Yes.
Moist.
This is so funny.
But for women, we all have different sensitivity.
Yeah.
So some women like it. They like a quick flick.
Mm-hmm.
They like a slow central. They like a sock. They like a, like every woman that I know likes different things sexually when it comes to. So you have to know your partner. Don't just go down there going crazy.
Yeah.
Like ask your partner first. I always say this. Before me and Shantae started having sex, I wanted to know everything. What do you like? What don't you like? What can I do? What can I do? What can you do? What can't you do? What do you need to learn more of?
Yeah.
Like we went through all the basics before we even lay down. And then it was but I finessed it. Like, we're only gonna be, this is only like friend talk. Like, what do you like? And I just needed to know because like I told you before, lesbians is such a long spectrum about some don't like to be touched, don't like to be fucked, don't like this. So
yeah, I mean, even I remember my first boyfriend, like he did not give head. Like that was something he didn't do. And I didn't know anything about it. I mean, we talked about how young I was, Jesus Christ. But he was really good at fingering. And I just remember thinking like, oh, this is the jam.
This is the jam.
Best thing ever. But then when I got older, I came to find people who, not fingering, because I don't like the shoving of the fingers, but like he really knew how to play with my clit with his finger.
Yeah.
And so like that was fine. I never even thought
about it. Oh my God. He couldn't do that with his mouth? That's so crazy.
I mean, he was 16. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Probably was grossed out by the whole thing.
Totally.
Because I would have been at 16.
Totally. And like, and there's still men to this day who say they don't, but those people are weird. But then I remember being with other people who didn't know how to play with my clit with their finger, and I was like, ugh, it was just like,
that could get real hurt.
Such a real hurt. Such a difference if you don't clip those nails.
Yes, or if it's dry, like that shit is like it's gonna take it right off.
Yeah. So it was definitely a learning thing. But yeah, it's like learn and practice.
Yeah.
Don't come into it just being like, well, nobody showed me.
I used to be so scared to, me and Shantae was like finger pop. We love this word again because I haven't heard it in so many years. I used to be so scared to like touch a girl's vagina.
What?
Yeah, I was like they call it a pillow princess.
Like, oh, yes.
I was like, oh, do everything to me, but I'm not. I was that girl for a long time.
I would have never pegged you for that.
Really? Because I'm so like dominant?
Yeah, and you're very knowledgeable and you know what I mean? But obviously, like we just said, it takes time to get there.
It took some time. I'm pro now. But it took a long time. I was like, ooh, everything grossed me out. Like, I used to like to look at women, but I was like, touch it. Ooh.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, especially like my first girl that I was intimate with kept telling me to like go down on her, and I couldn't freaking do it. I was like grossed out.
Yeah.
Especially when she spread it wide, I was like, what the fuck?
So were you still sleeping with men?
No,
okay.
Never.
So you were a lesbian. Okay.
I was a lesbian virgin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was not interested in either. Honestly, I was dating guys, but I never had sex with them. And then when I tried, he was like this.
Oh,
it wasn't gonna work. It just couldn't happen, and I was just like, okay, he's a friend of mine. I was like, he's way too mature and experienced, and it's not gonna work. But the first girl was like super. She pressured me so much that I just wound up leaving her because I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. And then when I got into a relationship with someone that I really, really liked, and I was drinking.
Liquid courage.
Look where we are. So yeah, that was like